Squid Games Front Man Hwang In-ho has the same aim as Seong Gi-hun, to put an end to these games for once and all. In Season 2, he was not trying to change Gi-hun's perception towards the game, but testing him if he can stand by him to take the game down. He too is trying to dismantle the system from the inside, just not in Gi-hun's style. So you know how this series has turned into a message for people about humanity. We keep the ones with humanity and dispose of the ones with greed. This is how the world works anyway. But press pause here for a second. Here and take a look at the humanity of Hwang In-ho, the frontman. In episode 5 of season 1, we find out that In-ho was actually the 28th winner of the Squid Game back in 2015. The important thing here is his birthday. Hwang In-ho was born on February 2nd, 1976. Now, if we go by the usual South Korean education timeline, he probably started elementary school around age 7, so that'd be 1983. Fast forward a bit, he would have finished high school by 1995 at 19, and then gone on to graduate from Police University by the time he hit 23 in 1999. From there, we know that he joined the Seoul Metropolitan Police Agency as a detective around 2001, and by the time he ended up winning the Squid Game in 2015, he had already stacked up 14 years as a decorated detective under his belt. Then in Season 2, Episode 2, we get a look at a family photo, In-ho with his mom and younger brother Jun-ho. In that picture, In-ho's there wearing a law enforcement uniform, and from the way it's styled plus the medals he's wearing, it's pretty clear he wasn't just another officer. The man held a serious rank. Probably one of those guys everyone in the department looked up to. With this sparkly resume, this guy still had problems financially and had accepted a bribe to support the medical expenses of his wife, who has acute cirrhosis of the liver and was also pregnant. Even after all this, he put aside his morals, his oath, and went for the bribe. So I think it's very, very safe to say that what happened in the games afterward only built on what he had already lost, just with more blood now. Later in the same episode, there's this moment where Jun-ho is on the phone with his mom, and she asks him to check if In-ho has left any flowers for his wife since it's the 5th anniversary of her passing. That one line gives us a key bit of info. In-ho's wife died around 2018. Here's how in Season 1, Episode 2, when Gi-hun is at the police station reporting what he experienced during the game. The date on the police paperwork and computer screen clearly shows 2020. Season 2 started with a 3-year delay in the game, so that makes it 2023. And if you minus 5 from 2023, you get 2018. 23, that's 18. In-ho had about 3 years with his wife after winning the prize money in 2015. Enough time to pay for the treatment and save her at all costs. So money was never the problem here. The game was never the problem here, so how come he turned out so bad that he ended up leading the game? Something doesn't add up here. What was his actual reason to join the game? Here's what I believe he's still calculating underneath. The way his hands shook when he had his gun pointed at Jun-ho at the end of Season 1, holding his tears, and even after taking an eternity to shoot, not shooting his heart or brain, it is clear that he does not believe in the game and its lessons. In-ho wants to train Gi-hun to stand by him, and how is he gonna do that? Well, you have seen him. The guy curates his targets like a twisted art dealer. Every shot he takes is calculated. All this so he can look loyal to the VIPs and dismantle the system from the inside. Now, I'm not saying I know of the master plan he is brewing, but from what I have seen and observed, he is not the villain. Think of him like a mixture of Professor and Berlin. He's got no morals but has a great plan. He kills with a pattern. The ones who exploit, abuse, or twist the system for selfish gain, like the underground organ traffickers or the greedy players who think alliances are just discount coupons for betrayal. He kills them saying that's not fair to the rules of the game. If you can't scroll down and hit subscribe in 5 seconds. You ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But was he fair in Season 2? He designed the games he knew the danger, and yet he lets people like Gi-hun and even Jun-ho skate by, not out of some mushy moral compass, but because he sees them as useful. They're pawns that will turn into his rooks. Potential assets in a bigger game. It's an investment. He could have killed Gi-hun at any point he had wanted, but kept testing him to see if he'll change his opinions. And when Gi-hun didn't crack, well, he took lessons to level 2 emotional strength.
Gi-hun?
Season 2's final episode, Jung-bae Gi-hun's old friend gets executed point blank. In-ho shadows him the entire game, always close enough to intervene, but far enough to let Gi-hun stumble face first into the blood-soaked reality of it all. It's like a crash course in moral decay, a syllabus built from trauma. Now here are two things. First, that was an emotional resilience lesson for Gi-hun. And second, he's gonna need Gi-hun mad enough to stand by him.
You're living at the most exciting moment?
You all have fun. I'm going on for a different kind of fun.
You're real 69, huh?
By the accents of VIPs, it is clear that there are people from America and other nations, and he needs a bigger plan for everyone. In Season 1, Episode 2, Hwang In-ho visited his brother In-ho's apartment where he discovers the game invitation card. But that is not the point here. If you look closely at his desk, there are a few things that say a lot about what's going on in his head. There is a copy of The Theory of Desire by Jacques Lacan. Why does a cop need to read it? And this is his apartment where he used to stay before he ever entered the game. So it's okay to say that he was already thinking about the system people cause at that time. His wife was sick, and he was going through a hard time having lost his job. The book is about some heavy psychoanalytic stuff, like how our unconscious desires shape who we are and how we see the world. Lacan basically unpacks how identity and reality are built around what we want, but don't even realize we want. You see that. You see what he was trying to get. At this time, he had no reason to change anyone's mind towards the game, but he was questioning the greed of medicine and industry, so the elites were his target from the start. And even after he was declared winner, he became the front man. In-ho's interactions with the VIPs are well cold, is putting it mildly. If he agreed with their mindset, they could have been at least good to each other. The man greets them with the kind of fake politeness you use when your boss brings their annoying cousin to a work party. He's formal, professional, perfectly robotic, but there's no charm, warmth, and certainly no respect. Even as he enjoys the first game in Season 1, he doesn't enjoy bet or talk like the VIPs. It's clear he's there to manage, not mingle. While the VIPs are popping champagne and betting on deaths like it's horse racing, In-ho is stone-faced counting down the minutes until he can leave the room without catching a felony via association. In Episode 7, Season 1, when player 069 dies, and one of the VIPs whines about losing a bet, In-ho politely says you can bet on the next one. Well, yeah, sure he will. That is until you decide that it's their turn. The entitlement of having human-painted models and treating the staff rudely only comes from the VIPs. And I was thinking, what if Hwang In-ho got to know that one of them was trying to do his little brother? I mean, that would be just shisk. But anyway, as far as we've seen, In-ho doesn't do anything about it. Think about it. The guy who worked at a high role for 14 years would be okay being treated like a lamp in the room. No one wants to tolerate that, because they will be then only revolving in the circle of lessons. He's memorizing every weakness, every leverage point until the right time, and there's also a growing theory that In-ho might actually be Il-nam's son. Yeah.
Here, Junie. Have this one too. Keep your strength up, okay?
Oh, it's yours. I don't want
Just take it. I don't want it. I can't drink milk anyway.
The milk thing is still going on in Season 2. In Episode 5, he gives his box of milk to one of the players, Jun-hee, who's pregnant, and tells her that he doesn't drink plain milk. He could have given his bread like Young Bai did. But nope, there is something wrong with either Squid Game's milk inventory, or there are subtle hints here for a shared bloodline. Even bolder, the theory that Gi-hun is also Il-nam's son that would make In-ho, Junho, and Gi-hun half-brothers one. Third, brothers. I don't know, you get it right. I know it's weird, but they need to stop with the milk theory. Whether or not there's a family tree involved, the contrast between In-ho and Il-nam is loud. Both are winners, both have strong sense of personalized morals, both were best partners throughout the series. Which brings us to the big question nobody's really answered, is Il-nam even dead? Because let's be real, that hospital death scene felt more like a drama class exercise in empty building, some symbolic water, conveniently zero witnesses. If a billionaire sociopath dies alone in an abandoned hospital, did it even happen? He already faked his death once, and this time he only did it to make Gi-hun the next frontman. It was emotional blackmailing. In the last episode of Season 1, when Junho tries to stand against the frontman,
Police, put down your weapons, you got that? We already know everything about you all. The Coast Guard will be here soon.
I don't know. Have the Korean police ever been...
that just shows he had been the part of the system. He was a police officer, and he knows even the government cannot do anything. So instead, he's building an army within the belly of the beast, recruiting people like Gi-hun, silently removing those who exploit others, and letting the morally strong rise. Now, did I miss any clue? Let me know in the comments below.